you only have really tiny schools, or is it just can you raise it up? I don't really. It's kind of small. Hi.
Hi.
Are you all enjoying the day today?
Yeah.
Me too. I'm gonna wait until I can sit down at the stool before we start the education.
What's that? Andy.
So anyway, fun school, right?
You're so tall.
Question? Who's so tall? Who said that? You're so tall. Water drinking. So hello everybody. This is my second one of these. Just 40 seconds. Yeah, we'll do that. So the first one I did was kind of testing the water on what it was going to be. This one hopefully goes a little bit more smooth. Basically the idea is, I don't know how many of you guys researched what this is, but it is essentially a conversation with all of us about education and the means of finding education. Also, for the people who are parents here, I'd like to involve you guys as well in talking about any difficulties that maybe your child faces in school, any of you who have maybe children of your own, whatever it is, talking about what it is that everybody goes through, not only in school but in life in general, and ways of finding a means of bettering your intellectual interest. So, I don't know how to start. So, the way I started last time is by saying hello, so I already did that. And I told you what the class was about. And now I'm just going to try to kill an hour with all of you for like that. So we'll just keep checking our phones and see how much time is
Take all the time you want. 10 hours.
So, genuinely, let's get started here. So, what I want to do first is kind of get to know everybody a little bit. Hopefully we can get the mic to everybody. If you are someone who doesn't like to speak into a microphone, that's totally fine. If you do get the microphone, I ask, and I don't mean this to be a dick, please don't tell me how much you love me. If you're not going to follow that with a question or something that is going to keep the class rolling. Also, secondly, I'm not going to talk to everyone about where we should play in their city or what venues are like in their town. And those are things that, again, I'm not saying to be a dick, but I'd like to keep this rolling and fluid. So if we can, let's start over here. And just, what's your name and what are your interests? What do you do?
Alright, my name is Cheyenne, and obviously I listen to you too damn much.
I don't think you can.
Okay, since I'm going to ask a question, I want to say that I love you like a lot.
That's okay. It's okay. See, that's the proper protocol there. You say.
Yeah, okay. Ghetto legs. Okay, so I want
Ghetto legs?
No,
What did you say? I don't know what the hell that means.
I just want to ask you, are you ever going to do another video with Chance?
I don't know. Again, we should go over the content here. So I will answer your question because why not? Chance is a person that I was friends with in high school, and unfortunately, often in your adult life, people's circumstances change. And I've seen Chance once. He got married to a person who's not a big fan of me, and how can that be, really? Honestly. But she, I don't know that that's in the cards, just because we're both in different places. But I love Chance. You know, he was in one of the whatever the fuck Joe's show's called.
Average Joe.
He was in one of those, and that's probably it. I would love to do more with him, but I don't know. Apparently I ruined prom for his girlfriend.
How can you ruin anything?
Well, here's the situation. She was obsessed with him, and I didn't know that. And I shouldn't say obsessed. She was interested in him, and I didn't know that. And we were going together, and I was meeting my girlfriend in the prom there. We were riding in the car together, and she wanted to ride in the front seat, and I rode in the front seat. Now, doesn't that sound like something that would ruin an adult life forever? So that was enough that there was an immediate issue with me, and it's continued to this day. She came into my house and was very rude. And so now that I've shit-talked this person for 5 minutes, let's move forward. Hello, Internet, everybody filming. I won't say her name, just her address.
Angry email.
Let's keep going. Anybody else? Just one? Are we done? Is that it?
No!
Hello. Hi. Okay. Just statements are fine. Just facts. That's fine too. I'll answer this in a broad, more generalized way. To me, the key to success is obsession. Having such an intrinsic need to do the thing that you want to do that it transcends everything else in your life. That is true of anything, whether it's being a musician or any field, not even in the arts. Something that you really want to be great at. It takes a lot of hard work. I grew up playing sports, and my dad instilled in me a need to always be the best, to the point where a lot of my childhood was spent being screamed at for, like something happened or whatever. And but the positive part of that for me was that it instilled necessity in me to be good at what I do and to not just allow myself to be subpar. A lot of people in life that kind of skate through and are okay with just being okay. And that's alright. Sometimes circumstances change and you don't want to follow a dream that you had. But regardless of what it is, dedicating yourself so much that you can't imagine your life without it is really important. Now, part of that is that you need to find a means of getting there. People that say the way of becoming a musician or a rock star is by dedicating yourself and you can't have a backup plan or whatever else. That's true, but to the extent that you need to be able to educate yourself and understand the business and understand what you're doing and why you can do that or why you can't do that. I never allowed for doubt in my situation, but I also didn't allow for the idea that it was just going to happen to me. I didn't believe that I was magically going to become a guy in a band one day because I wanted it to happen. The only way for that truly to happen is to put in work. Now, there are some people walking around here who I have no fucking idea how it happened to them. But that said, there are different means. But to me, the one true way of always getting the thing that you want in life is to work very hard for it. You don't see someone as successful and important as like Kevin Lyman without the work that he's put in. When you speak to Kevin, he's got 90 things on his brain and he's making them all work. And to me, that's a great benchmark for success. It's being able to inform yourself of the field you want to go into. No worries. Who's next?
Should have tapped her earlier.
Hi. You said before you were too scared to ask a question, so I can hear whispers, by the way. Whispering isn't this. It's actually whispering. That's just talking. Anyway, continue.
My name is Alyssa.
Hi, Alyssa.
Well, for me, I have stage fright, and I absolutely love to go out to, not necessarily perform, but I love to go out with my friends, and I love to sing karaoke, but I'm too afraid to do it in front of like this huge crowd with anybody else like you can do. I'm terrified to do that, but I want to do that with my life. I want to go out and I want to perform for people and to have them to be an inspiration.
I don't know, honestly. I mean, that's the long and short of it. I can't. For me, I was such a ham my whole life. Like, I never believed that people didn't want to watch me do whatever the hell I was doing. So, for me, like, that was just such a part of my life was performing all the time, putting my family through, making me, like, watching me do a play every Christmas and every birthday, and here's a song I'm gonna fucking sing, and like all that. So, I don't know. I think that, to me, performance was such a big part of it. The only thing I can think is that in any job or field that you go into, preparing yourself so that you know that the chance of failure is so small that if you go out there and you may be afraid but you know what you're doing, and you can kind of transcend that a little bit. Like you wouldn't want to build something and have no idea what any of the parts were because the likelihood is that you will fail. If you know exactly what you're doing when you go out there and you prepare and you rehearse and you feel good about it, then anything that happens on the stage or anywhere else is sort of secondary. That can be fluid, but you already know what you're doing. Bam! Alright, who's next? Hi, Ashley. Don't poop. It's not. You made like a pooping face. It's not that kind of class. It could be. It looks like a lot of people got shit all over them out there. The mud.
You gotta make sure.
The people have been tipping over the porta potty. You think it's mud, it's actually just shit all over it.
When you go on stage and you see those people, all those tickets just to see your concert and they hate you, what do you think was behind?
I have no idea, because they are more dumb than I am. And I cannot put my brain into their head. I haven't experienced any of that, and I'm hoping that's a good bellwether for what society's becoming. I think you're gonna have to talk about it. Just yell.
Whenever you were younger, what happened or like what made you think that this is what I want to do in my life or this is what I want to do?
Do you guys all know in your mind what you think you're going to do outside of school and that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
But do you guys have ideas for maybe a dream? Something that would be a dream career. So the interesting thing about like a dream or something is that it's often sort of it's a way of placating the emotions that you have that are the difficult times. So I have to go do this job for 8 hours, but I have this dream that I love. To me, I look at those things as completely valid, and I would never change that. If you have that dream, keep that as a big part of you, because those things, while they may not occur to everyone, and I'm not going to sit here and say everyone is going to have all their dreams come true, because that would be unlikely and irresponsible of me to say. But the idea that you can achieve something greater than the station that you were told you were given is totally possible. So for me, it was an immediate thing of seeing bands that I loved as a kid, bands like Kiss and many others, that I said, okay, that's what I want to do, and it just became an all-encompassing thing. Back here. Hello. I didn't even see you. I was morning back there. But you're totally good.
My name is Chloe.
Hi, Chloe.
And I just wanted to know, because I want to be an inspiration like you are, and you're an inspiration to so many people. How does it feel when fans tell you that you pulled them out of depression and that your music really helped them?
Well, it feels great to hear that I've had a positive impact on you. I do not consider myself to be anything other than a guy in a band. I think it would be ridiculous of me to put myself on a pedestal and consider myself to be some sort of inspirational figure, because I feel like that's sort of in the eye of the beholder, and if people are inspired by me and what I do, that's great. But to try to make myself into this sort of larger-than-life monolith is something that I didn't really aspire to. I wanted to be in a band and make music that made people feel like they were part of a community, because I didn't really have that as a kid. And the bands that I did love that had that, I didn't feel like they really gave a shit about me directly. It sort of was, we're all in this together except for you, the weird kid with the black clothes on and the makeup, like you're not in this group, you know? And so for me, to hear that we're inspiring people or inspiring you and making you want to inspire others, that's a great feeling. I don't like hearing necessarily, I don't think anyone does, about the sadness of other people, but to go through those stories and hear people explain how they've come out the other side and how I may have had a part of that is a great feeling. Thank you.
I have a quick one.
All right.
My name's Luke.
Hi, Luke.
I brought my daughter Chloe here for her birthday.
All
Will you
right.
wish her a happy birthday?
Happy birthday.
Oh, I can't
Are you having a good birthday?
concrete anymore. It's killing me.
I'm having a great your birthday. Hi, Hannah. That microphone's not going to hurt you. You can hold it more, like with more purpose. Sort of doing the one finger thing. This is my first microphone.
I get picked on at school a lot for listening to your group and for my